Hey, welcome back to Dragon Tails Fishing. So today, I just want to do a little update on the kayak, the Bluesky Boatworks 360. Is it a good kayak? What have I done to it to make it better? Let's go through that right now. Check this out. So here we go. We got the Bluesky Boatworks right here. I've done a couple things on this kayak to kind of make this a little more comfortable and fit the type of fishing that I do. So we're gonna go through, explain what I've done to it. So far, when I got the kayak, it didn't have a motor on it, didn't have anything on it like that. So I added a trolling motor. I got a little Minn Kota on there, 55 pound thrust, Minn Kota on there. Nothing fancy, nothing special. I just wanted to get the kayak out there to see how it rolls. Go ahead and start from the beginning, from the front all the way back. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I've kind of done a couple things to it. This is kind of just an overview of my 1 month. I've only had this kayak maybe a month, and I've already added stuff to it. Nothing that I don't need, because here's the thing, guys. So when you get your kayak, you want to buy every little accessory you could possibly find and add it to it, put everything on this kayak but the kitchen sink. And as you can see, I got a lot of stuff on here, but these are things that are necessary for the type of fishing that I do. So I want to go ahead and start. I'm going to start from the front of the kayak, right up here, and work my way to the back and just kind of explain to you guys what I have on the kayak and why I have it on the kayak, and does it work or does it? Let's find out. Let's go ahead. Starting from the front, I added the Minn Kota 55 pound thrust trolling motor. Originally it had the, let's go ahead and check out the alligator clips on that were on here. I took those off and I put these on here. And the reason why I did that is, check this out. I've got a Newport Vessels box here for my battery setup. And it has these connectors right here, which are real easy. Just twist them off, just like so. And then add your connector here and add your connector there. Boom, she locks down. She's good to go, and no problems. I had the alligator clips, and those alligator clips worked very well. The problem I had was I was getting a little loose connection. I didn't like that too much, so I decided to go with these type of connections right here. Positive, negative, easy. It cost me about 50 cents to replace, and that's what I did. This out. So obviously I've got the Newport Vessels right here box. Inside of this box is powered by Dakota lithium, and I believe this is a 60 amp hour battery. Check that out. Yeah, 60 amp hour battery. That battery has yet to fail me on the water. I have actually had this kayak out on the water for 6-7 hours, and I've been running it with just mainly this battery, and I have not run out of juice yet. So that's a good thing. I love it. I think I'm gonna still upgrade to probably their 100 amp hour battery, because I want to have just that feeling of safety, that I have a little bit, you know, I have enough juice to get me back to the boat ramp when I'm done for the day. So yeah, with that being said, let's go on to the next thing. Added this right here, which is by the Insta360. It's a mount for my camera. I have a Insta360 camera, the X4 I believe it is, which does 360 video. I've been adding that type of footage to one of my videos. You should check that out. And my last video with the Bluesky, awesome. I love it. I love it. With this mount right here, it allows me to literally go up. I can go up. Check this out. I go up, I mean, 9 feet, dude. 9 feet. So that right there gives me an option to get a little better views. It gives me that imitation drone footage view, which I love. The editing it's just so easy. So I'm going to be adding a lot of that type of footage into my videos. So please continue watching me. And if you haven't, like and subscribe down below to my channel, so that I can get to that 1,000 subscribers. I'm at like 797, I think, at it is right now. So come on, guys, help me out. Subscribe to my channel. Let's continue on. All right. Next thing I added right here was my phone holder, which is great for those type of photos where you get the picture of the video. Check it out, like that's right there. That way I could get those trophy pictures right there with that mount, which is awesome. Also, the fish finder was already added on here, but here's what I've changed. So when I originally got this, the Kayak had this on here, and I wasn't able to plug it in. So what I did was I took the end of the connector, which is just the positive and negative wire, and I added an SAE connector just like so. And let me show you how I plug that in. So right here I have my own battery box that I made. This is a Harbor Freight box. I got my little decal on there right there. If you guys would like to see a video on how I made that box, put some comments down below, and I probably will do a video on that to show you guys how I came up with that box. It's really easy to make. Anybody can make them. But let me go ahead and show you this box, show you how I plug in the fish finder, and yeah, let's do that. Real easy. Just like I said, it's one of those kind of a waterproof box, but it's not really waterproof. So I don't recommend you going scuba diving with it or anything like that. But inside, I've got a 12 volt 10 amp hour Dakota lithium battery, and that has over here I have a USB port, and I also have the SAE connector right here. As long as these things are hooked up, everything should work just fine, as long as the fuse don't go on me like that. But it gives me two USB ports right there, and right there. And what that allows me to do is plug in my phones, my GoPros, my battery charger, anything I want. And mainly, I get to plug in this right here, which goes on to like that. And as you can see, my fish finder is all hooked up and ready to roll. And I have that on one of those Scotty switchblade type connectors that allows the transducer to go down into the water just like so. And it doesn't even, like, if you look at this thing, man, it doesn't even come past the pontoons, which is awesome because once it's in the water, it doesn't create any drag, or creates very minimal drag. And that right there is going to power that transducer and the fish finder all day. And I'll set that up just kind of like so. You know, like I said, you'll have your batteries connected up like so. I don't really need to have that connected right now, but your positive and negative will go there. That battery right there is only for this right here. The reason why I do that is because I want a separate battery for my fish finder, because I really don't want any power being taken away from the trolling motor. The trolling motor's got to last me all day. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You guys are probably like I am, and you're kind of lazy when it comes to that fishing, and you just want to go out there and have a good time and fish and do your thing. I do use my pedal drive, but I use my pedal drive very sparingly because, one, it's the version 1 of the pedal drive system that Jackson has to offer. Been told it's a very reliable drive, but the Kayak's a 2018. It's a little older. It's been around the way, so I really don't want to have any issues right now. And if you get the Pro on this, it don't even come with it. It don't even come with the drive. It actually comes with a delete plate that allows you to have more footage on the deck. But I like the fact that I have that pedal drive just in case I have some power outage or I have a motor issue, and that is why I love having the pedal drive. All right, let's continue on. All right, next thing that I did was the hatches here. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4 hatches. I don't know if you can see that right there. Yes, that's the number 4. Those hatches used to open up like so. Well, if you're up here in the seat and you're trying to reach down into the hatch, now that's not a good idea to have the hatch open up in the wrong direction because it's just a little bit cumbersome to try to get in there and get what you need. So what I did was I actually turned those hatches around. So I took all the screws out, as you can see here. Now the hatch opens up this way, allowing the seat forward access to all that stuff that's in those cubby holes. Same thing right here. If you look in the back, I've got my paddle in the way because it's just sitting there. But as you can see, this hatch is also open the same way, because when you open up the seat just like so and you want to get in there, right there, it's now, that hatch is not in the way of that seat. And that's something that I noticed while I was out there. I was just like, wow, man, it's a little cumbersome trying to get in there. So I don't have a whole lot in there right now. And the reason for that is because, yeah, I'm out fishing. I'm still filling the boat out. This review is how I've got it set up for my 1 month having the kayak. I just wanted you guys to see that, see where I've gone with it so far. Some things may change in the future, but for right now, that's what I've kind of figured out that I needed. And this so far has been awesome. Going back here, I've now added some other stuff on here as well. So I don't know if you can see that there. You can see that I have the bump board on there. Last 3 times that I've gone out on this kayak, and I've only had it a month, so I've gone out maybe 5 times, I did not have my bump board. I forgot it. And the reason why I forgot it was because, well, it wasn't handily available for the kayak for me to use. So when I went out, I'm like, really, dude? Really? I forgot the bump board. Now, that's okay, because sometimes I catch big fish, sometimes I catch small fish. Sometimes I catch fish, sometimes I don't even catch anything. But I really would love to have that on the kayak. So what I decided to do was this. Check it out. So Yak Attack makes this right here, and it's actually for a pole for your paddle or whatever you want to have on there, but it's actually made for your paddle. And it actually has a spot for your rod holder, which is the next thing I'm going to get into. But you have the Y connector right here that allows me to put my bump board right like that. The only thing I had to do was, these bungee cords right here were a little short because they were meant for a paddle, and I just put new bungee cord on it because they were actually rotten anyway, and extended them so that they fit right back on the little latch on both sides right there. And look at that. My bump board is now on the kayak permanently. I've actually driven with this thing. It hasn't moved, hasn't done anything. So it's awesome. Now I actually have my bump board on the kayak. Very easy now to take off. I just take the bungee cord off on each end, like so. Take the bump board off, lay it on the deck, like so. Measure my fish, and I'm on my way, and then put it right back. Look how easy this is. Look at this. This is awesome, man. You know, just like that. Just like that. Put the bungee cords back in place. Just like that. Of course, I'm going to make it hard. Just like that. And just like that. Bam, now she ain't going nowhere. And I also have a lanyard put on there just in case, because it is a flat deck and I don't want to lose anything on the deck. A big advice to you guys when you're dealing with your kayaks is, if you don't want to lose it, you better tether it. Last trip I was out, I ended up catching a 19-inch trout. And I was like, okay, cool fish, good fish. I ended up, you know, getting on the deck, you know, and this was going into my next modification to this kayak. Is this right here is the rod holder. I didn't have one of those on there, so I ended up having to lay the rod down on the deck. Not a very good idea, especially when there's so much stuff up front for your line to get caught up in, that I don't recommend that. I recommend having your rods facing straight up and down, so that when you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, your fish or whatever, you can actually have your line out of the way of all of this stuff right here. And because you don't want that. I mean, I spent probably multiple minutes trying to reline a pole because I didn't have, I laid the pole down on the deck, it got tangled up, and now here I am dealing with that drama after dealing with the fish. And if you're just like me, you know when you catch fish, it ain't just as easy as popping a hook out and throwing them back in the water and going about your day. It's actually, sometimes it's a little cumbersome. You gotta sit there and, you know, really finesse with that fish. You gotta, you know, dig down deep into the throat a little bit, try to get those hooks out, try to not to hurt the fish, and so you can catch a release, or if some of you guys are taking them home, I mean, that's all good. But for me, a lot of times I catch a release, and that could be a problem when you have your line all caught up and all this stuff that's up here that you've added, and now all of a sudden now you got to deal with that. So next modification is this. I added a rod holder, which this is, I believe, a ram mount rod holder. It actually connects to the Yak Attack mount, which allows me to put my rod straight up and down, like so. See how I got the rod up high like that? Now I still probably got to adjust this a little bit to kind of, you know, get it to where I need to have it. I may end up having to turn that around so it's facing that way. But for now, I just installed that. So I gotta get back on the water and figure that out. So what that allows me to do though, is while I'm sitting in the seat, I've got the rod up in the air like so, and the line as well coming down, and it's out of the way of all this stuff that's in the front of the kayak, instead of laying it down on the deck, which I had been doing the last 3 times that I went out, which was a problem because I ended up catching a nick. My last video, I lost not 1, but 3 fish because I had nicks in my line. That's not good at all. So with that, this right here, this mod, having your pole in the upright position, maybe facing forward this time. I think I got to turn that around. But yeah, having that out of the way so while you're dealing with the fish in your seat is a godsend. So let's go on to the next mod. So the next mod is a very easy one. I mean, come on, who doesn't want their coffee in the morning? So I added a cup holder because, yeah, I ended up getting coffee stains all over the deck here because I didn't have a cup holder right there. And such an easy mod, having a cup holder there. Last time I went out, this thing worked out beautiful. I actually have a couple places to hook some extended lures or whatever there. As you can see, I got a little voodoo shrimp on that bad boy right there. And some skinny water lures, baits, kind of right there. I don't know if you can see that. So I know you guys have noticed that right there. So that right there is just some sea decking. I've got a certain color that I'm going with right there. I decided because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the sea decking that's on this one right now, but I decided, you know what? I'm doing some customization. I mean, that's the fun of kayak fishing, right? Is customizing your kayak, doing stuff that kind of makes it yours and yours alone. I mean, I know that's why you watch some of these videos. You watch to see these guys be like, hey, what can I do to this kayak to make it really cool? And I've watched a lot of videos, and let me tell you, even now I can watch a video and be like, wow, I never thought of that. So I'm gonna add a custom sea decking to this right here, right on those spots that have the original gray mat. And I'm doing that because, you know what? Because I can, because I want to. And you know what? I love this thing so much. And the part of the fun is modifying the kayak. I mean, dude, I even got a custom color. I got the same color kayak, and I have a life vest. You know what I mean? I got the same color life vest, and it's just amazing. Amazing. All right, so heading back to the back. Now, I know you guys have already seen this kayak probably multiple times online. Of course, I've got them, you know, matching shoes and all that stuff. So what I also did was I took, or C-Tug wheels and put it on my Bluesky as the tires right there. So the tires that I did have were these right here. Right here. So nothing wrong with these tires at all. The only reason why I went with these other tires is because they have that rubber padding on them. And that rubber padding is just going to give it a little cushion. I mean, it's very little, but it's going to give a little cushion when I'm actually pushing it across the concrete or the dirt or the gravel or whatever that I'm actually pulling this kayak on. And that way, it'll just kind of protect it a little bit. I mean, the C-Tug tires fit on perfectly, so I had them. I don't use the C-Tug, so why not? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Going back to the back of the kayak, I have one last thing. So when I got this, I actually traded this for my Hobie Pro Angler 360, the 12-foot version. I got it brand new from Black Creek Outfitters before they went out of business back in, like, I think 2021. And I traded even for this kayak, and he gave me not one, but 2 of the power poles. So at first I was like, I'm gonna put this one on because I still have this right here. This right here is a 2022 Hobie Pro Angler 12-foot 360 Pro Angler. And as you can see, I got the 1103 on the back. Originally I was gonna put that on here, but right now I figured why let it sit there and just rot when the remote is actually for both of them. So I installed both of my power poles on the Bluesky. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So why did I do that? Well, the last time I went out, it wasn't a windy day, but I would cast, and all of a sudden I just realized there was just a little bit of wind that I wasn't really feeling because it was above that grass line at that mangroves, and I really didn't realize it was that windy. But when I would power down with one power pole, my kayak would drift and point me in the opposite direction every time that I wanted to fish, which is not a big deal because 360 comes with this bad boy right here, which allows you to turn the seat 360 degrees. You say, well, Bobby, why did you do that? Why did you put the second one on? Mainly because I can. So I decided to go ahead and put the second one on here just for now. Just to, maybe I just want to use it a little bit to see how it is. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. I might take it back off. I might put it on the Hobie that's right there in the back, which is probably what I'll do because I really do want to use that Hobie right there for my tournament kayak, and it kind of needs that. I got to take the motor off, right? So I'll take the motor off, I'll put the power pole on it, and then I'll have a power pole when I go out and fish on the Hobie Pro Angler. But for now, since I'm not doing any tournaments anytime soon, at least not in the next few months, I figured why not put it on here and see if it does any better. Maybe it is better. Maybe I'll just buy another one and put it on the Hobie right there and have 3 of them. But for now, I've got a 8-foot pole right there, and I also have a 12-foot pole. And that allows me to anchor, and because the remote is paired to both power poles, they go down same time. So that right there, let's check that out. So I have one remote, but I have 2 power poles, and both power poles are connected to this one right here. See? Look at that. Boom, sucker, raised up. Yeah, just like that, baby. There you go. 2 power poles. So what that'll do is allow me to kind of position myself however I want without drifting left or right or in a circular motion. It'll actually, whatever direction I'm facing, those 2 power poles will stake down, and they will keep me in that position only. So that's a cool thing. That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's go on to the next thing, okay? All right, so modification number, whatever this is this right here. So what I did was I went ahead online and I got with the website and ordered the bag for the Bluesky Boatworks. And I also ordered my own little pouch for the back, like a backpack or whatever, for the back that I could put basically my tackle in or whatever I want. I also ordered these right here, which is really cool. So I've got 2 boxes, okay? 1 and 2. Now, in the first box, I got all of my soft plastics right there, and a couple jig heads. So I've got all of the patterns of soft plastics that I think work and that I want to use. I've also got my own size jig heads right there. I don't know if you can see that really clear. Some of these don't even have the eyes on them yet because I just made them. But disclaimer, of course, we have our own little company called Skinny Water Lures, and on Skinny Water Lures we have soft plastics, and I paint my own hard baits, and I put my own hooks on them, stuff like that. So check these out. Some of these are the hard baits, and these are all hard baits that I painted, and all patterns and blanks that I feel actually work. These 3-inch slow sinking twitch baits are money, especially in this type of pattern right here, and this one right here. Check this out, it's really cool. Biohazard right here with the SWL on there. Then we have our wake baits. Actually, this last tournament that we just did, shout out to the Florida Redfish series. My partner actually fished that series, and stop 6, he won first place. Got him $3 grand. I'm just saying, the baits work. So going on, I've painted up a few here that I figured that I would want. I mean, that's really cool right there. Look at that. Look at that. Got the little skull and crossbones on the eyes with the SWL right there on the side, little pearl on the bottom. Yes, excellent baits. Top waters right there, slow sinking twitch baits right there, and our wake baits. So over here, obviously we got our 4-inch paddle tails. We also have our 2.5-inch paddle tails. We have our 3-inch paddle tails right here, and back down and below I even have some curly tails that we all make from Skinny Water Lures. So yeah, check those out if you can. I'll leave a link down below somewhere or put it in the bio for our website to check those out. Really good baits. I make my own jig heads, so you can see we make a this right here is a 3/16 and 3/0. So it's a 3/16 3/0 jig head with the reptile eye right there. Pretty cool. I also make a 1/4 ounce one as well. Check that out, pretty cool. Yeah, and I make a bunch of colors on that. Those are on my website. I will put a link somewhere around on this video, so check those out if you'd like. So far, that's actually what I've added. I know I've added, and I showed this in a video as well, the Yak Attack little small boxes right there. My cooler, that cooler right there, I'm gonna tell you what, that cooler right there was straight from Walmart, and it was only like $50-something. Beautiful, beautiful right there, except for my watch on the top. Beautiful cooler right there, holds all my stuff, especially for a one-day trip. Will hold all my stuff cold all day long, and when I come back I got ice for days. This right here, awesome. I got the Skinny Water Lures on the top, the Dragon Tails Fishing logo on there for my channel. So yeah, that. So yeah, I've got 4 rods on here. I keep a top water on here as well. Let's see where I got. Let's see what I got. What do I got here? Looks like I got a slow sinking twitch bait. I got a paddle tail and our purple haze with the purple haze jig head. I've got one of the wake baits on here as well. And there's a 4th rod that I usually keep my top water on. That right there is my setup right now for this year. I hope you guys like that. If there's anything you have a question on, like to see maybe a install video or creation video of the battery box, let me know down in the comments below. So far, this is the new kayak, man. The Bluesky Boatworks 360 Angler. 360, boy, I'm telling you what. There you go, guys. That is a little bit of a review, maybe a 1 month review of my Bluesky Boatworks right there. Got the Hobie Pro Angler 360 right there. Videos to come, my man. So if you want and you like this type of videos, please like and subscribe. Hit me down below if you know. And like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have some more review videos of that one right there. Until the next time, guys, thanks for watching. And Dragon Tales Fishing, we'll see you on the next one.